Morning, guys. Casper Chiachifit here. I got another question, a little like statement. Can we agree that every muscle is independent? Every muscle has its purpose and its function. So, with that said, every muscle is an individual, independent electric motor, meaning you turn the motor on, it does its job, back and forth. Tension, release. That's its only job. So, if I'm asking you, how do you isolate a muscle? Will you agree that it's one muscle lifting one weight? So in that case, let's say, what is a bicep isolation exercise? You're going to say, it's a bicep isolation curl. Well, when you're curling a biceps, you are now moving both muscles at the same time. So it's no longer an isolation, right? So you got to figure out before you start, are you going to hit the outer head or the inner head? If then it's isolation, one muscle. So with that said, let's do a little bit more. How about this? If I am moving 100 pounds, doesn't matter the weight, let's say 100 pounds, and I'm using one muscle, one motor moves 100 pounds. If I add more muscles, more motors onto that exercise, it's now compound movement, correct? Meaning that weight, 100 pounds, now gets divided with how many motors you're using. Because every motor will pick up some kind of weight and slack, either as a brake or as a initial pull or push. So that means that the initial weight of 100 pounds reduces dramatically depending on how many motors you're using to lift that weight. So let's say I'm doing bench press. Bench press, when you look at every manual, every book out there, Google it. Bench press is going to say you're going to use chest, you're going to use front delt, and you're going to use triceps. There's three muscles in your triceps. There's three muscles. Front delt is one. Then there's your chest muscle. So now that 100 pounds gets divided among all those muscles, it puts the weight. So that means the weight reduces dramatically. So what do? Well, I didn't feel it in my chest, but I felt it in my triceps. Guess what? It was an arm exercise, not a chest exercise. So you go, I didn't feel my chest, so I'm going to increase the weight. So you go 2, 3, 400 pounds. Now you feel it in the chest the minute you take it off the rack. Because your chest, it's got all the weight on. But the minute you start bending your arm, all those motors start picking up that weight on the way down. And then when you get to the bottom, your elbow is completely bent. And your chest is holding onto the shoulder so the shoulder don't break off. So it's got a static tension. And then you start pushing with your front delt and your triceps to get right about 90 degrees and up. Now your chest is picking up the rest while you're extending. The weight is still divided with all those muscles. So it's not an isolation, it's a compound movement. Same for flies. Flies, if you're using your shoulder joint to move the weight, it's a front delt and bicep exercise. And the only thing the chest does is holding on to that shoulder that it doesn't fall off when you go down below 90. So what I'm trying to tell you is the more motors picking up the weight, the less weight that is on the muscle that you want to train. Have a good day.